Good morning, everyone. Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live stream. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Morning or good day, depending on where you're from. Welcome back to another live stream. Very excited to get back on here with you guys. Another opportunity to gain more conviction through experience. We are going to continue showing up for our session every single week. Every time we collect more data, the more conviction we get in our concepts. Definitely ready to get another session in. Very happy to be back on here with you guys. I hope everybody's week is going well so far. See a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Tell you what, the people putting in their time, putting their focus in on their business, they're going to be the ones that are here in the long run. So, for the people that continue to consistently show up, amazing job. Finding discipline in your work, consistency is key. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. I'm going to take a moment to say hi to the community and welcome everybody to the stream, and then we will get into the information. Just one note before I do. We're very close to hitting 13K on YouTube, so I would greatly appreciate any subs to the channel. Like the stream, sub to the channel, share the page. We're working towards getting to 13K, and then the next goal is going to be 20K. I do have some very exciting stuff for everyone when we hit some milestones. I'm not going to ruin any part of the surprise. We will wait until we get there, but until we do, sub to the channel, turn the notifications on. That way you can be notified for when we go live or when any new educational videos come out, along with liking the channel. If you sub to the channel, you can also participate in the chat. The chat is sub-only mode, so for anybody that's looking to participate, you're going to have to sub to the channel. So, let's see who has shown up again this week. Good morning, Knox. Good morning, Caden. Rodrigo. The Unicorn Queen. Tyree. One Girl Trader. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's day is going well so far. Iman. Ahmet. Darts. HMH. King. Jolly Love. Good morning, good morning. Muhammad, Nick Gardner, Jay, Christina, good morning. Marcus, good morning. Mad for Pick, good morning. Tatiana, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Chill Time, Easy, Eat, Michael, Uturo, good morning, good morning. Good day, depending on where you're from. Bimel, Duke, Make, Kale Fan, Rama, good morning, good morning, good morning. I do want to say, if I'm pronouncing anybody's names wrong, I'm sorry. Maybe I don't get the correct pronunciation. I'll continue to keep working on it, and feel free to let me know that I'm saying it wrong. There are so many new names all the time that it is definitely hard to keep up with. Ronnie, good morning. Atman, good morning. Lester, good morning. Sonic, good morning. Ad, Trader Pat, Jimmy, Chris, Valentine, good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's day is going well. Doug Yu, Jared, JD, Victor, Gang John, Jacob, Nico, good morning, good morning, good morning. Jack, good morning. Everaldo. H, good morning. Mike, good morning. Hi, good morning. Matthew, good morning. J Trades. Anek, Norman, Precious, good morning, good morning, good morning. JK, good morning. Savage, good morning. Nico, Josiah, hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody's day is going well. Gaetano, good morning. Ty, Mr. Beach, Ahmed, Gene, good morning, good morning, good morning. Seeker, Caleb, Sari, Nikos, good morning. Sunny, good morning. Bust a Move, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Frank, good morning. Daniel, good morning. Hamza, good morning. Justin, good morning. OGT, nice to see you again. Hope your day is going well. Thiago, good morning. Jason, good morning. Brad, good morning. Tasso, good morning. Hope everybody's day is going well. Hope everybody's week is going well. Very excited to get another session in. More time to gain more conviction with our concepts. The value is shown through the work. Show up and work every single week. Show up and complete your process every chance you can get. Conviction is built through experience. Showing up for your session and completing the justifications to your actions is what develops that conviction. That's what we do here every single week. You'll see me go live on YouTube each Wednesday. For any of the individuals that are looking for additional live streams, that happens in the premium group. The premium group gets a live stream each morning at New York AM. I am from the US, so I am going to focus on the AM session. I am normally sleeping during London and Asia. There are analysts in the premium group that trade the London session, that are present during the London session. It is easier for them because they're on that side of the world. I'm from the US, so I'm going to focus on New York AM, and I mainly participate in NQ and ES. So, with that being said, let's get into our justifications to our actions. Let's begin to complete our process. Going to look the same every single time, so whether you think it's repetitive or not, that's the purpose. The justifications to our actions need to be so defined that all discretion goes out the window. I have a mechanical type of personality, so I need those cause and effect type of relations to understand how to engage with the marketplace. If you have that mechanical type of personality, then maybe these justifications are for you. If you have a discretionary type of personality, that's completely okay. There is no right or wrong. What matters is you look internally to understand how you best operate. I'll gladly continue to keep sharing my journey in the market as I've been publicly documenting for the last 7 years. But we need to understand that the only thing that is right or wrong is either being profitable or not. You either make money or lose money. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. The only thing that matters is that you can operate profitably. Okay, so don't get lost in social media. Don't get lost in other people's opinions. Other people's opinions do not press the buttons for you. So what matters is you need to understand how you best operate. And you do that through experience. Gain the experience by showing up to the market, show up to your session, figure out what you're capable of identifying and defining, then start executing it to understand how to execute it. And while you're doing that, journal it every single time so that in a month from now, in 6 months from now, in a year from now, you have so much data that you've collected that you can easily analyze what you are good and bad at. That's the point in time where you start sharpening the edge. Because when you can make a list of pros and cons or do's and don'ts, then it's going to become very clear how to operate, what you're good at identifying, and what you can define within price. Once you get to that point in time, that is when you become an independent thinker, and that is what matters. Other people, on social media telling you what's right and wrong, that doesn't make you profitable. This will always be a you versus you business. So take some extreme ownership in your business and understand how you best operate. Okay, now 9:30. So we got New York open. Let's go ahead and complete the justifications to our actions. Every single day, it's never going to change. Let me fix this quick. Every single day, it's not going to change. Here's the game plan, and we're going to complete the game plan as we do every. So, game plan has been and always will be time being the most important element. Bias or draw on liquidity is our second most important element, and entry function comes last. So that's why you always see me start the day on the economic calendar. I'm looking to understand the important times of the day. This will also explain why I'm in no rush this morning, right? It's 9:30 and I haven't even opened up the chart yet. Right? I haven't even completed my analysis because I'm in no rush at all, and you can see the reason why I'm in no rush. Monday, no news driver. Tuesday, no news driver. Wednesday. So seeing that we have no news driver today, we should be more patient and selective than normal. Anytime there is no red folder, I am more patient and selective than normal. That's because I want to be participating on days that have red folder. Now hear me clearly. I did not say I don't participate on days that don't have red folders. What I'm saying is I am more patient and selective on days that do not have red folders. I have executed on days that do not have red folders. Yes, I prefer to execute on days that have red folders, but you can also execute on days that don't. You still have to understand the important times though, right? So it doesn't show it on the economic calendar because it's not a news driver, but New York open, 9:30 a.m. That is when the majority of public is allowed to start trading stocks and options. So the New York Stock Exchange opens at 9:30. Therefore, the majority of volatility comes into the market at 9:30. 9:30 is always going to be an important time. Okay, so even though it's not shown on the screen, 9:30 is always an important time. And for this reason, my hunting hours are 9:30 to 12. So anytime I'm looking to participate in the market, it's between 9:30 and 12. I look to confirm my criteria after the opening time. So from 9:30 to 12, I'm looking for a bias, then I'm looking for an entry function aligned with that bias. When I'm looking for an entry function, I'm looking for a stop hunt, displacement through a breaker, and an FVG aligned with that breaker, right? And a unicorn. Now, just for a quick example, and then we'll get over to price action. When there's an 8:30 a.m. news driver, I'm still only participating from 9:30 to 12. I always look to participate after the important times. So 9:30 is always going to be an important time. And then the red folders as well. So tomorrow, I'll look to participate from 9:30 to 12. And I'm more interested because there is a red folder. And then on Friday, I'll look to participate after 9:45 because of the red folder. Okay, so now that we understand the important times, we can get over to price action, start to take a look at what price is giving us today. So, on the daily chart, this is what I was looking at. And my group can go ahead and fact check me. This will be the same information that's in the Discord because this is what I'm currently looking for. The week started off with a consolidation candle. Monday was a small, tight range. Tuesday swept the swing low, potentially putting in a low of the week on Tuesday. Now, in a classic buy week, the low of the week, majority of the time, is set on Tuesday. Price did a phenomenal job going from external. Right, this is external here because it's a swing low. And it moved to internal, right? The FVG. Price is only ever doing two things, right? It's either grabbing liquidity below a swing low or rebalancing an imbalance. When price is doing one of two of those things, we look to aim at the opposite location. So what I mean by that statement is when price swept a swing low, the next thing I would look for is price to rebalance an imbalance. Okay, so looks like we're starting to get a bit of a rejection here from the, that's probably consequent encroachment of the FVG. Let's just take a look. Perfect. All right, so we are getting a bit of a rejection here from the consequent encroachment of the FVG, right? The 50%, the midway of the FVG. So after we swept the low here, I'm going to go down to market structure to take a look at this. After we swept the previous week low, I'm sorry, the previous day low. This was Monday and Friday. So we swept the low here. After sweeping the low, we put in an hourly unicorn. Right, we get a stop hunt here. Oh, whoops. So we took out the external here. When we took out the external, we created a bullish unicorn. So now in terms of market structure, this is something I'm looking at moving forward. Does price get supported by the reversal pattern? We swept an external location, potentially putting in the low of the week on a Tuesday. If this is going to be the low of the week, this reversal pattern could provide support for price. Okay, so we'll look to see if this thesis is validated or invalidated. Okay, we'll go into price and see if we get supported by the reversal pattern. Now, I don't need to go over ES simply because it is the same exact information. Whether you want to look at ES or NQ, it is the same exact information. Swept the swing low here. Journal. And then at that location, get a stop hunt. That keep happening. We get a stop hunt. After the stop hunt, we create a bullish unit. Right, so in terms of game plan, it's very clear for me. Price either gets supported by the reversal pattern, and we can continue to get higher prices, or price invalidates the reversal pattern, and I will know that the bias is incorrect. Right, so in terms of game plan, first most important concept is time. We are now in New York Open, so we should start hunting. Right? I don't look to hunt before New York Open. I don't look to hunt after market hours. I don't look to hunt, during Asia. Time is the most important element. And the important times are the high impact news drivers and the session opens. Okay, so very simple thesis, very simple game plan. Price either gets supported by the reversal pattern, and we can continue bullish prices, or price invalidates the reversal pattern, and I'm incorrect. Right, because the second most important concept is bias. Time is first, then bias. Now that we have a bias, we're capable of being one-sided to price action, and that's what matters. If you understand what you're looking for, it blocks out all of the rest of the noise. Right? If you know that you're looking for higher prices, then go into your session and look for a bullish entry function. Right? Only looking at one side of the market will keep you out of a lot of trades. Right? I don't counter trade my bias. I do not go into the market saying I'm bullish and then look for short positions. That I don't counter trade my bias. There's no reason to have a bias at that point. At that point, just focus on price action and don't even develop a plan, because then you're being discretionary. There's nothing wrong with being discretionary. Once again, I go back to the opening statement of saying you need to understand how you operate the best. If you are better at being discretionary, then please do so. But if you need a mechanical process, that's when I would say create a game plan. And the way that I create a game plan is understanding time, then getting a bias, then executing a unicorn that's aligned with that bias, that's aligned with that time. Okay, so let's go in. Let's see what price action has done so far. Got a nice move lower at the open. Right? And if you're bullish, what would you want to see at the open? If you're bullish, what would you want to see at the open? A Judas swing. Manipulation lower to grab liquidity. Right? Think about accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Right? Is this accumulation? Is this the manipulation of the accumulation to then distribute? So we'll wait and see. You cannot consider this being manipulation without a change in the state of delivery. And I've already mentioned being more patient and selective than normal due to no high impact news drivers. Okay. Now that we've gotten the analysis completed, everybody understands what I'm looking for. Everybody understands the time in which I look for it. Right? And now it's a matter of waiting and being patient enough for an entry phone. Okay. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw it in chat and we can start to go over that now. It looks like there is a bunch of comments. So let's see if I can find my spot where I left off. Gotta scroll back up here. Oh, okay. Take a look. Hi, Ash. Try pronouncing Hamza as Hamza. So the D would be pronounced a little better. A makes it sound for up. Definitely going to try that again. Hi, Ash. Would you take trades before 9:30 a.m.? No. I only participate from 9:30 to 12. Hey, Ash. Any news on the giveaway? Yeah, the giveaway, we'll let it run until Friday, and then we'll pick a winner on the giveaway. So if anybody is curious, the giveaway that Velvet just mentioned, it's on Twitter. So if you haven't already, I do run giveaways on Twitter. Here is the giveaway right here. If anybody wants to participate in the My Funded Futures giveaway, I'm giving away 2 50K starter plans at My Funded Futures. All you have to do is go to this tweet right here, tweet the following. Okay, on Friday, we will look to complete the giveaway. We use a random name generator called Twitter Picker to choose the winner. So get in there before Friday. You can participate in the giveaway. Why don't you use the settlement price on the daily chart? I've never used settlement, and I've always had balance adjust on. There's no mechanical reasoning for it. That is just how I've always traded. So it's not. It's a don't fix it if it's not broke kind of thing. That's how I learned. That's how I'm gonna keep it. TL has an hourly unicorn as well. Yeah, just be careful of the news. Every single Wednesday, oil has inventory. So understanding the important time is definitely something to keep note of. How about price being located in the daily CIBI? Yep, so that's majority of the reason for the sell-off, right? Side of a bearish FEG, swept the previous day high. So it makes sense to see sold off from the daily fair value gap. That's probably what this move down was. I'm targeting the consequent encroachment FEG and the mean threshold of yesterday's candle below. Very good job, Unicorn. That. It's a little. What's the name of the indicator that shows the banner on top? I see. Top is AGFX watermark. This is the indicator that shows these words. AGFX. Can you check the stat map? Yeah, here's the stat map. This logic alone can also explain the move lower, right? So let's just review the logic of the stat map real quick. The logic of the stat map is that you obtain a range. The range will always be manipulation level to manipulation level. The indicator does this automatically, so you will always have a range. The logic of the stat map is to develop a range. This is step one. Once you obtain a range, you then wait for one of the sides of the range to get manipulated. See the manipulation here? Right? Price swept out the highs. After sweeping out the highs, we get a change in the state of delivery. Ever since that change in the state of delivery, we then target the other side of the range. So the logic is obtain a range. Step two is understanding if the range gets manipulated or acceptance above the range, right? This is manipulation because of the change in the state of delivery. After sweeping the range highs, if you get a change in the state of delivery, that's what defines manipulation. If we were to have gone above these highs and then we did not get a change in the state of delivery, then it would look like acceptance above the range, and then we would target here. Okay, so anytime you can define a range, then after defining the range, if you see manipulation of one of the extremes of the range, you would target the opposite side of the range. The manipulation confirmed here, so from this line, I would look to target the other side of the range because of the manipulation. So step three is your target. You understand the target by defining manipulation or acceptance. That is your stat map. Right? So this also explains some of my thesis this morning. Right? Now we're at the extreme of the range. We have swept out the lows of the range. We will see if we get a change in the state of delivery down here. Right? Do we get one of these? Right? What is that? Our entry fund. Do we get a unicorn down here? Yes or no? We'll wait and see. Hi, Ash. Do you use the energy calendar for CL? Yes, that is the correct calendar for CL. Hey, Ash, isn't the whole 3 1-hour candles considered a breaker? Yes, 1, 2, 3. I did highlight all 3 of these, so maybe I'm not sure where the confusion is. Maybe you were looking at ES when you made that comment because ES is only one candle. But NQ is all three of them, and I did highlight all three. So yes, that is correct. All three candles. We got NQ on the left here, ES on the right here. Would you use that 1 hour FEG as a higher time frame PD array to look for bullish entry functions? Yes. The higher time frame points of interest that I am concerned with are swing highs, swing lows, and FEGs. Right? So bullish FEGs and swing lows are higher time frame points of interest for long positions. Vice versa for short positions. Swing highs and bearish FEGs are higher time frame points of interest for short positions. Can you check out NQ with the stat map? Yep, here's the stat map here. We just went over that. Sticking to bias removes at least 50% of your losses. I couldn't agree more with that statement. Right? That was what I was trying to point to when I was talking about bias. If you're only looking at one side of the market, you won't get caught in being offsides. Right? If you're looking for longs and we're getting higher prices, you won't try to short the top. I personally would rather be one-sided. I would rather know when I'm wrong than continuously flip my bias 100 times within the session. Why are you expecting this breaker to support price? I'm not expecting anything. There's a difference between being objective and subjective. So all I'm doing is sitting and pointing out the concepts that I can identify. Whether price decides to get supported by that or not is up to price. I'm not looking to predict the future. I'm simply looking to read price. So it's like a book. Read it from left to right. Allow price to do whatever it wants to do. And with whatever understanding you have with price, that's how you can make your decisions. Right? So I'm not looking to predict the future. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, price is going to bounce from this location. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is, this is what I'm looking at. If price does this, then I'll do that. Right? I'm being objective to price. I'm not influencing my opinion on price. Right? So I'll sit here and wait. If we get supported by that location, then I'll look for higher prices. If we do not get supported by that location, then I will know that idea is wrong. So it's about being objective, and the way to be objective is by having a plan. Right? That if-then statement helps you understand what you're looking at. What about StatMap? You don't use it anymore? I am using it and it's on the screen. Just went over StatMap. How do you frame an hourly unicorn? I'm assuming you wouldn't enter on the hourly, correct? Would you then drop down to the time frames and look for another unicorn formation? So you have to understand, once again, what type of trader you are. Right? If you're a long-term trader, then taking a 1 hour entry function might be for you. If you're a short-term trader, then I would look for positions on the 5-minute or the 15-minute. So management is different depending on the time frames, is what I'm trying to say here. If you're going to take an entry function that comes from the daily chart, the 4-hour chart, the 1-hour chart, you're going to be holding that position for the entire day or multiple days. Versus if you were to take an entry function on the 5-minute chart, you're going to be in and out of that 5-minute entry function within one session. So it could be minutes or hours versus days. So no, I'm not a swing trader. So no, I'm not entering off of that hourly unicorn. It's just helping me look at market structure. So in this scenario, I'm just waiting to see if it's price. Right now we're visiting that location that I had mentioned. Now that we're at that location, we'll look to see if this happens. Right, a 5-minute. If this does not happen, then I know that that analysis is wrong. So providing those if-then statements gives you the complete understanding of what you're looking for. And you have to understand when something is invalidated, right? I'm more than okay with being wrong. If anybody in this industry ever tells you that they have a 100% win rate or that they always know where price is going, I would run the opposite way. There is no 100% guarantee. There is no model that wins 100% of the time. There is no person that understands every single price fluctuation. That's why we need invalidation levels. That's why we need to know when we're right and when we're wrong. That's why using those if-then statements is so valuable. I'm not trying to sit here and predict price. I'm just sitting here and saying, if we get a bounce from this location, then I'll look to execute. If price never bounces from this location, then I was wrong. That's really all it boils down to. Why yesterday did you decide to enter before 9:30? I did not enter before 9:30, so that is an incorrect statement, Nico. Others have problem with 1 and 5-minute quotes on MFFU this morning. Is anybody having any trade evade issues? If you're having any trade evade issues this morning, please throw it in chat so that the rest of the community can be aware of it. Trade evade was having some issues yesterday. There are certain prop firms that use trade evade, and hopefully they are doing right by their customers by resetting the balances if you were affected by the trade evade issues. Why don't you use ERL and IRL based on the 1-hour time frame? I always want to be aligned with the higher time frame order flow. So the daily chart is where I get my bias. The way that I get my bias is understanding internal liquidity versus external liquidity. So I'm always looking to use bias from the daily chart. The higher time frame holds more influence. So that's the reason why I use the daily chart for bias instead of the 1-hour chart. The daily chart is bias. The 1-hour chart is market structure. The 5-minute chart is entry functions. That is how I execute. Hey, Ash, are you still using StatMap? Yep, it's right here on the screen. Currently being used right this very second. See it here on NQ. right? And so far, notice how we have not gotten a change in the state of delivery. When we've gotten, here's the manipulation level here, right? We got to the manipulation level, but when we got there, we have not seen this. So we cannot expect a return back into the range. Right now, it looks like distribution lower. Right now, it looks like acceptance below the range. If we get acceptance below the range, we target distribution. Hi, Ash. Would it be possible for you to do a video on change in the state of delivery? Yeah, I could definitely do that. I will definitely make an announcement for when I upload that video. Hi, Ash. Why is the bias bullish if we are located at a daily FEG and we look for price to move from internal to external? Is it because we expect price to put in the low of the week on Tuesday? So you did get that move lower, right? Everybody's asking about this right here. You're getting that move lower. Price was located inside of a bearish FEG. So being bearish here, looking for a move lower, makes sense. You got that move lower, right? Look at the move lower. Okay, so the move lower makes sense. I'm not sure where the fusion is. I've already hit 4 targets to the downside. Very good job, the Unicorn Queen. Very, very good job. Going through ICT 2022, ICT Market Maker Primer. I'm currently going through ICT month 12 core content. Mr. Velvet, the only thing I have to say about that is don't get lost in the information overload. I understand that the majority of the audience here is ICT audience, but I have to say the information overload is it's an issue. If you're trying to go through all of his content, you're never going to actually develop a model. Because there's so much information there that it's never ending. If you get caught in that loop of information overload, then where is there time to execute a model, to collect data on executing? You'll be stuck in an endless loop of information. So in my opinion, you know, the ICT information is great. I'm very thankful for all of the information, and he did a phenomenal job with it. But I'm also here to say, you got to take a step forward, right? That should be a stepping stone to the next part of this process. Caught the 2R unicorn yesterday in your live stream. One and done for the week. Time to protect the profits. Phenomenal job, HMH. Yep, there was a long position from yesterday's live stream. A lot of people were able to catch it. I'm very happy for the individuals that took the profits. But now it's also your responsibility to stay green on the week. Overtrading is never acceptable. When you get green, you should stay green. The people that always want more, the people that always reach for more, are the ones that are willingly handing their profits back to the market. Less is more, quality over quantity. Price located in a daily SIBI, IRL to ERL. bearish bias. Can you look for a setup lower to the 1 hour unicorn setup? Yeah, very good job, Chris. You guys got the move lower. There's no setup here because during New York is when I participate. We're looking at a 5-minute chart here. So it just moved lower right at the opening time. Right, this is if I was bearish. This is what I would look for. Swing high, swing low, a new high, a new low. I look for this during New York Open. So here's New York Open, 9:30. It just moves right lower. So the bearish bias has been completed, right? The objective of looking for a move lower, you've obtained that. There just was no entry function, right? If you use multiple different types of entry functions, then okay. But I only use the unicorn, so since this right here did not present itself, there would be no short for me to take advantage of the move. And we're already on the 5-minute chart. I don't advise going down to the 1-minute chart. Is very noisy, very volatile, not for everyone. Right, and here's your logic of the stat map once again. Acceptance below the range means target distribution, and we are now at the target. Right, when you're at the extremes of the range, identify whether you get manipulation or acceptance. Depending on what you get is how you know what to target. Notice how when we got to the extreme of the range, you never got a bullish change in the state of delivery. So targeting distribution makes sense because you got acceptance below the range. Could you please check if 1-minute breaker on gold is valid? I'm sorry, I trade ES and NQ, so I'm going to focus on ES and NQ. I do not want to go over to gold. I trade the New York AM session, and I trade ES and NQ, so I want to focus on ES and NQ. Hi, Ash. You only enter on Unicorn and not any other model? That is correct. I only execute the Unicorn. On average, I only trade 1 time or 2 times a week. And that is a risk management preference. That is not a model statistic. There are more than 1 or 2 unicorns that form every single week. I choose to only risk 1 or 2 times a week because of my own personal risk management. How long is the code ASH active? There is no date in which it's going to be turned off. It is currently active and will remain active. Do I trade London? No, I don't trade London. I'm from the US, so I'm normally sleeping during London. I sleep from about 10 p.m. to about 6 a.m. So that's all of London session. Hi, Ash. I trade with the Unicorn from 3 months and my win rate is 61%. I mean, 61% win rate is phenomenal. If you're properly risking 1 to 2 RR, 61% win rate at 1 to 2 RR is profitable. What is the logic behind the stat map levels, which are currently located on the chart? Logic is in a range. B, level to inflation level. Once you obtain a range, wait for price to engage with one of the extremes of the range. Once price engages with one of the extremes of the range, you need to identify whether it manipulates the extreme or if it accepts outside of the range. You can easily identify that by the presence of a change in the state of delivery. Notice how you get a change in the state of delivery here after manipulating the extreme of the range. Once you get manipulation, you then target the other side of the range. That's the logic. Only other option is acceptance above or below a range. Right? Here's what acceptance looks like. Price never created a change in the state of delivery. So if we accept outside of the range, you can target distribution. That's the logic behind it. And it worked perfectly. Change in the state of delivery at the extreme of the range, it targeted the other side of the range. Acceptance below the range, we targeted distribute. So this is beautiful stat map this morning. Ash, the 1 hour unicorn has already reached 2R. Why would you use it again as support? I'm not executing an hourly chart, so your reasoning of 2R, that's not a part of the analysis. It's not for an entry function. It's just for a thesis, right? It's me looking at market structure, and this market structure is showing me that it's not providing support to price right now. So if price is not getting supported by the reversal pattern, then maybe this is not the low of the week. It's providing context is what it's doing. It's giving me a narrative. Price does not get supported by this area, then I'm no longer looking at this as the low of the week. Hey Ash, what market does CL correlate with? You could use UK oil. So looking for SMT on oil, you could use UK oil. Which level ES go? I'm sorry, I don't understand that question. Do you count a candle as part of the consecutives in the breaker if it is 0% unchanged? Ty, I don't understand that question either. Do you count a candle as part of the consecutives in a breaker if it is 0% changed? I'm sorry, Ty. I still don't understand. If there's any other way to ask that question, not sure why I'm not understanding what you're trying to add here. Yeah, so that's the point there, Uturo, is just simply having a location to look for a point of interest to obtain an idea. Price did not get supported by the idea, right? So I'm not willing to long, right? So in the beginning of the stream, I had mentioned having justifications to your actions. When you use if-then statements, it gives you a very clear picture in which to engage with the marketplace. My if-then statement this morning was, if price gets supported by this potential reversal pattern, I would look for higher prices. Right? So I was waiting for price to retest this area. Now that price has retested this area, look at how there is no bullish unicorn. Right? We got to this area. We did not receive this. So I know that that idea is wrong. But guess what? I didn't take any risk. because my entry function did not present itself. So this is the exact statement that I was trying to make this morning. You keep yourself out of so many losing trades when you're capable of only looking at one side of the marketplace. I was looking for a long from this area. My long entry function did not present itself in this area. Therefore, no risk has been taken. I did not lose any money. And, you know, this is a point in the process that everybody needs to get to, because not losing any money is just as good as making money. I'd rather be flat when I'm wrong than lose money. Right? Like, sure, I got the bias wrong this morning. And that's great, because I didn't risk any money. That's what matters. Being capable of looking at one side of the marketplace, having an if-then statement to judge whether you should engage with the marketplace becomes very clear when you have an entry function. Right? I made an idea. The idea was wrong. Since there was no entry function, there was no risk taken. That's a win in my book. My bias is bullish, but I see price wants to go lower to rebalance yesterday's range. So I trade lower and then long when we wanned. Oh, God, geez. I don't know why I can't read. My bias is bullish, but I see price wants to go lower to rebalance yesterday's range. So I trade lower and then long when and if we reverse. Trade price action and let it do what it wants. That's a great statement, Unicorn Queen. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's a phenomenal job being objective to price, right? Not influencing your opinion upon price. You're not forcing yourself. You're being objective and allowing price to do what it wants to do. That's amazing. That is a great mindset. Can you make a living only by trading? Well, it took me 2 months to make $45,000. And then 2 months later, I had another $30,000 withdrawal. So in the span of 4 months, I made over $60,000. You do what you want with that. Ash, your voice is very soothing. It's like you meditate while trading. Well, I guess I appreciate that comment. I don't know how to respond to that one. Hello, Ash. I try to trade with the unicorn for 3 months. My win rate is 61%, but this... Oh, this is the same comment as before. Nothing's wrong. Bepo. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Nothing's wrong. There is no model in the world that has a 100% win rate. Right? Sometimes you'll win. Sometimes you'll lose. That's what this industry is. That is the name of the game. That is what trading is. You'll have some good months. You'll have some bad months. You'll have some good months. You'll have some bad months. It's a roller coaster. There's nothing easy about it. Hi, Ash. Why is the stat map changes levels on each time frame, and what time is best to use it on? It depends on what settings you have. Right, I'm only using the daily levels, so my stat map will not change the values. Right, this value will be the same on all time frames. So let's take a look real quick. The distribution level is at 527. Right, we're on a 5-minute chart. Now we're on a 1-hour chart. Distribution level is still at 527. So your stat map should not change the levels. The only reason why it would change the levels is if you have multiple time frames selected. I'm only using daily projections. Why do I personally only look at ES and NQ? Why not YM? One, less is more, quality over quantity. I do not need to be looking at 20 different assets. That's only going to cause information overload. Okay, I don't want to confuse myself by looking at too much information. That's the first thing. Second thing is the majority of my trades are on NQ. So if there was any chart in the world that I would look at, it would be NQ, because that's where I trade almost 100% of the time. So NQ is a definite for me. Then ES is the second one, and that's because of the price fluctuations. So there are many times when YM, it has a mind of its own. There are many times where it is not as correlated as ES and NQ. That's the reasoning why I don't touch YM. Lastly is the type of price fluctuations. So NQ is very fluid. It has no trouble going up and down, right? If we look at the price fluctuations, it's always constantly moving up and down. It's very fluid. YM, I don't even have YM on here, but let's get over to it. YM, it's very, it's like a knee-jerk reaction. It's like it stops moving for a while, and then out of nowhere, it pops. So it's not a fluid reaction. Right. See how NQ is moving? It's kind of bouncing here. Notice how YM has not even moved a tick. We'll watch YM for a little bit longer to describe this, but it's a weird volatility is what it comes down to. Different type of volatility. And I don't like that. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to take a sip of coffee before getting to any other questions. Thank you for your patience. Once again, for anybody that's looking to communicate with us this morning, you have to be a subscriber to the channel. The chat is sub-only mode. So sub to the YouTube channel, turn the notifications on. That way you can be notified for when we go live or when there's more educational content being released. Also, like the stream. If you're looking for any additional communication outside of this YouTube live stream, I also have Discords. There is one public Discord that is free to join. And then there is a premium Discord called Unicorn University. That is where there's private mentorship. So if you're interested in either one of those, the links to those are in the description of this video. Is the 945 candle a potential breaker if we displace through it? You got to let me know what chart you're looking at. I can't just... Wouldn't use this as a breaker. This looks much better on IM. Right, like where's the... Need a very clear institutional swing. Right, like this is what I'm looking for. But there's really no direction here for a higher move. Really no clear change of direction. Would not use if you're referring to. Hey Ash, on yesterday's trade you took, stop hunt happened before 9:30. I disagree with that statement. I want to take a look at it real quick. Yesterday's trade was a good. Here it is right here. First of all, a stop hunt is not one singular candle. So no, it did not happen before. Stop hunt is an entire. this from this candle here creates the stop hunt. So in terms of time, I would say from 8:15 to 10:15 is when the stop hunt happened, right? And New York Open is at 9:30. So this stop hunt occurred at New York Open. Stop hunt is a price fluctuation, not one per candle. Why did you decide to use the daily for bias instead of weekly or monthly? Because of time frame alignment. Time frame alignment helps me understand which charts to analyze. Time frame alignment that I use is the daily chart to the hourly chart to the 5-minute chart. So that is why you never see me looking at a 3-minute chart. You never see me looking at a 30-minute chart, because of time frame alignment. Can you mark out the levels of the stat map without the indicator? Yeah, if you want to run the numbers, these are average manipulation, average distribution of a daily candle. So if you want to run the data, then yeah, you can do it on your own. But I'm not going to sit here and run averages every single morning to get these. Right, this is average manipulation of a daily candle for last 60 days. So I'm not going to go and grab all 60 days and run the average. Rather have that automated. Average. Yellow line is the manipulation level from 6 to 87 is the average amount of points daily candle manipulates for the past 6. So if you feel like running those numbers, be my not interested in averages. Hi Ash, for outlining the breaker, do you mark it from the wick to wick or bodies only? I use the entire candle. When I outline the breaker, entire candle. Valentine said, already green for the day? We'll sign off. Yeah, if you're green, you need to call it a day. It is more important to stay green than to continue to risk. All today. What do you consider acceptance above or below the range? Is whether there is a change in the state of delivery or not. Right, so here's the range from manipulation level to manipulation. If price goes to one of the extremes of the range and does this right here, that's what manipulation looks like. Right? Bottom side of the range, here's what manipulation looks like. Manipulation is the presence of a change in the state of delivery. That's what I define manipulation. So if there is no change in the state of delivery, then I define it as acceptance. Right, so take a look at this here. Same exact pattern. Swing high, swing low, new high, new low. Change in the state of delivery happens here. Ever since that change in the state of delivery, we move to the lower portion of the range. Now, notice how there's no manipulation here. Why is that? Because there is no change in the state of delivery. So this looks like acceptance. This looks like acceptance. This looks like manipulation. When we manipulate, we target the other side of the range. When we accept, we target distribution. Presence of a change in the state of delivery is how I define manipulation. Hi, Ash. Considering your 1 to 2 possible unicorns per week, what is your monthly percentage goal that keeps you consistently profitable? I do not have a percentage goal. So, creating goals is either being red or green for me. I do not put limits on what I'm looking for. The only thing I'm looking for is either to be red or green. I don't care how that compares to other traders. That is my mentality. That is the only thing that I care about. I'm either red or green. Whether that's 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. I don't care what percent it is. I'm either red or green. So I'm most interested in being green. I do not force some type of goal upon my risk management. Hey, Ash. Thanks, as always. What's the look back settings you have on StatMap? It's 60. So I use 60-day look back. So I'm using averages of the last 60 days. And I'm saying days because I use daily projection. So I use daily projections. And the look back is 60. I'm using the mean. I'm not using the median. I use the mean. Ash, is this reversal now confirmed that you are looking with your bias or still not confirmed? There is no reversal. I see no reversal in price. What a reversal looks like right here. Oh, hi. That has not happened yet, right? And that's why you guys haven't seen me put any positions on the screen here this morning. I told you I was looking for price to get supported by this right here. And if price were to get supported by this, this is what support would look like. Right here. Ready? Swing low, high, new low. Since this right here, this pattern has not happened within this gray box, I have not pointed to any positions. Because price has not been supported by my idea yet. The idea was price to get supported by this box. When price reached this box, we have not received this pattern yet. So I'm not going to sit here and point to something. There's nothing on the screen. So for me and my game plan, I have nothing this morning. I'm more than okay with that. So you only trade after 9:30, right? That is correct. I execute positions from 9:30 to 12. Never met a mentor that is so focused and clear with straightforward model and very few rules. What did it take to be so focused? Results speak all of the value. Like, I realized that getting good at one thing and repeating that for an extended period of time by looking at my results. It was very clear to me that every time I changed my method, I'd have worse results than if I just kept my method. That's why I try to tell everybody that you always have to look at your own data. And that's why documenting is so crucial. Document every single session, because when you see the same thing happen every single session, and that thing that you are seeing is providing a profitable result, that's what shows you should just stick with that model. And then it just comes a matter of discipline and patience. You carry out that model every single day. To be patient enough to wait for that model. The results speak for themselves. It's very simple for me to say the amount of withdrawals that I've had since becoming disciplined and patient, since only following the unicorn model, is much, 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 much greater than when I was, stuck in the new shiny object syndrome. Always changing your method. If you're always changing your method, then you're never going to get purely defined results. Hi Ash, could you please explain how to use standard deviations? So standard deviations go on the leg that took liquidity. Right? So, for example, right here, price took liquidity because it ran below a swing low. Now, using standard deviations, you put the standard deviation on the swing low to the swing high of the leg that took liquidity. Right, so notice I'm putting the standard deviation on the swing low to the swing high of the leg that took liquidity. Once you analyze the standard deviation, this is how you use standard deviation. 0 to 1 is your risk. 0 to -1 is your accumulation of the risk. -1 to -2 is your distribution to the target being -2 to -2.5. Right, so it's the same exact thing as saying this right here. We enter at the beginning of the breaker, stop loss below it, we aim for 2R. Right, notice risk to reward, 2R. The same exact thing. That's how we use standard deviation. Oh, you're saying the whole creation of the breaker unicorn has to happen after 9:30, even though the stop hunt was before 9:30. Prince, I'm just going to say this one more time. The stop hunt happened during New York Open. Stop hunt is not one singular candle, so you can't say that this happened before New York Open because it was not confirmed until about 10:30. So the stop hunt itself is an entire price fluctuation, not one singular candle. The stop hunt occurred at New York Open. The displacement through the breaker happened during New York Open. The FEG aligned with the breaker happened during New York Open. Those are all of the confirmations I need for a unicorn. Hey Ash, amazing stream as always. Just dropping by to say hello. Hope to see you in the premium soon. Very good to see you, Jason. Thank you for the kind comment. I hope all is well. Hi Ash, how many days a week do you trade? And what do you usually trade? I normally trade ES and NQ. I only take 1 to 2 trades a week, maximum. One minute unicorn? We'll take a look, but I'm not interested in 1 minute positions. Phenomenal job if you're referring to the 1018 candle. Yes, this is a breaker right here. Is there an FVG? No, there is no FVG. So sorry, I actually disagree with you now. This is not a unicorn because there is no FVG aligned with the breaker. Must have a stop hunt, must have a breaker block, we must have an FVG aligned. What if it occurs on lower time frames? Do we discard that structure shift? You got to be a little more concise with the questions. What are we discarding? What if it occurs on lower time frames? Do we discard that market structure shift? I'm sorry, I'm not certain what the question is. Okay, now I understand, Ty. Thanks for clearing that up. Ash, when looking for a breaker, if there are consecutive candles that form it, would an unchanged candle be included in that sequence? No, if you have a doji, right, a candle that opened and closed at the same number, no, you would not use a doji candle. Bullish breakers are up closed candles. Bearish breakers are down closed candles. So if the candle closed neither up or down, that does not fit the definition of a breaker. Do not use dojis. Amazing job today, guys. All the questions and comments. I'm truly grateful for every single one of you. It's only providing a better learning experience for everyone else. We continue to keep asking questions and going over information. For the individuals that have trouble communicating, it's really giving them a lot of value going over all these questions. So I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for everyone that is showing up and participating today. The more questions we ask, the more information we go over. So it's a very valuable experience for everybody else that doesn't communicate with us. How to trade the 1 minute entry? Well, you trade the 1 minute the same way you trade the 5 minute, the same way you trade the 15 minute. Everything remains the same. You obtain a bias, you look for a unicorn that is aligned with that bias. Yes, even if the doji candle is in between up closed and down closed candles, I do not use it. A candle that neither has an up close or a down close. If it's just a doji candle, it has the same value as the open and close. Do not use that candle. Bullish breaker will be an up close. Bearish breaker will be a down close. Candle that you're looking at has neither one of those. Do not use it. Looks like we are starting to get supported, right? The original idea was price to get supported by the hourly unicorn. Wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. See where this hourly candle closes, because now it looks like the idea that we originally generated is beginning to play out. Same thing here on ES. Wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. If price gets supported by the reversal, this could be the low of the week. Now, closer we get to lunchtime, the less interested I become. Yes, I am still looking for an entry function, which, guys, might have put me on YM for the first time ever, but YM is the one that has a potential very clear instant points. You get a swing low, you get a swing high. If they need to displace through this for it to be confirmed, but if they displace through this with an FEG aligned with it, that's what a unicorn. Has not happened yet, so I'm going to take it back off the screen. Not confirmed. If NQ and ES start to go bullish, would gold go bearish? I'm not looking at any type of correlation between NQ, ES, and gold. I do not do that. That is not a part of my analysis. So that correlation that you're referring to is not something that. 6E could be forming something. Take a look. Continuation breaker to the downside, if that is what you're referring to. High, swing low, new high, new low. PG aligned with it. Like continuation breaker to the downside. Did have a bearish bias on you. Or here. FEG. I started at a bearish FEG. Same thing here with Dixie. Bullish FEG. Price is bouncing from the bull. On Russell. Good old Russell. Very good job. I agree with what you're saying. Now this is what we're going to watch today. Now that we finally have an entry function, let's see what happens to this position right here. Very good job. Who pointed that out? Hi, very good job. Yes, this is a unicorn. You have an FEG aligned with the breaker block during New York. So let's watch this. NQ on the right. We'll put Russell on the left. All right, so we'll finish up the stream with this. Now that we get to see an entry function, we will see what results entry function provides. 2 seconds, I'm going to take another sip of coffee. All right, thank you very much for your patience. Looks like we finally received a unicorn on Russell. So, watch RTY. This. Hi. Candles before liquidity. He is aligned with it during New York Open. See what they want to do with it. Yes, it is valid. Candle closure through the breaker block. We have the FEG, have the stop hunt during New York Open. All criteria to the entry function is confirmed. I'm not sure what's going on with the audio this morning. Sure why it keeps cutting out. Definitely take a look at it afterwards. I haven't changed anything, so I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Take a look at it after the stream. Can you check the daily on Russell? Yep, let's take a look at the daily. The daily swept a swing low to a bullish FEG. We already got the reaction from the bearish FEG here, so I'm not at all. Right, we saw the move lower during New York Open, so the rejection of this daily bearish FEG already happened during the opening time. In my opinion, swept a swing low into the daily bullish FEG. After we swept that low into the daily bullish FEG, we create a bullish unicorn on the hourly. And this is the same unicorn that I had mentioned during my analysis this morning, that I was looking for price to get supported by this location here. And RTY did a great job bouncing from this location. So, looking for higher prices because of that. It's YouTube. I had to refresh, and it fixed it. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the audio this morning. Sorry if it's a little choppy. I will definitely take a look at it after the live stream. Can that 5-minute bullish candle be a breaker or a unicorn? Which candle are you talking about? I've already pointed to a unicorn right here, so if this is the candle you're referring to, I've already outlined the unicorn. There's 2 FVGs that align. Does that make it higher probability? No. That does not. Nope, I already explained on NQ that I would not use this as a breaker block. This just looks like a consolidation candle for a continued move. There's no clear institutional swing point. Right, this is what I want to see here. Swing low, swing high, new low, new high. Doesn't look like that. This just looks like consolidation for the continued move lower. No, I am not taking this entry. I've hit my maximum risk on the week. For that reason, I will not execute this position. I only trade 1 to 2 times maximum per week. I've hit that risk limit. For that reason, I will not touch this trade. This is in fact, bullish unicorn. This does align with my thesis. That is why I pointed it out. It is a confirmed entry function. That is why I'm watching it. I still show up to my session and document every single time I confirm my criteria. We don't have to risk to learn, though. Risk management's always going to be the #1 priority. So, since I've hit that risk limit, I'm not willing to touch anything else. All right, so if anybody has any other questions or comments, feel free to throw it in chat. If there's no more questions or comments, I'll begin to wrap up stream. I will gladly document the results to this position, both in Discord and on Twitter. So none of the information changes. I'll continue to document it publicly so that everybody else can get the information. But if there's no other questions or comments, I'm going to begin to wrap up stream. No, I'm not in this trade. Ash, to have an entry right now, we need to go below the last hourly candle. Nope, the point of interest for bullish positions are bullish FVGs or swing lows, right? So you can see that price engaged with the higher time frame point of interest when it tapped into this bullish FEG. So once again, this is a confirmed unicorn. That is why I have documented it. It has completed all of the justifications to the model, right? Bias this morning was bullish. Here is the higher time frame point of interest, the bullish FEG. Here is the 5-minute unicorn that aligns with all of that. All of the criteria has been completed. Is in fact valid. Hey Ash, are you thinking about trading RTY or YM now? No. Still only focusing on NQ and ES. Only on the screen because so I went to. What would we have to see on NQ for a valid unicorn? This right here. Swing low, swing high, new low. Right now, this is the only thing that we've received. Low. See the difference here? This one's a unicorn. This one is not. If we do not get this, then there is no unicorn. Alrighty. So, like I said, I will make sure to document the results of this, both in Discord and on Twitter. Just want to say thank you for everyone that showed up. Another phenomenal chance to continue learning and gaining more experience with the market. Another chance to complete the justifications to our actions. We're going to continue to keep showing up for our session every single chance that we get. All of the questions and comments are greatly appreciated because it brings so much more value for the people that are watching. You get to go over this information daily so that we can continue sharpening our edge, so we can continue learning this business. Thank you for every single person that showed up. Really grateful for all of you. We will be going live in Discord for the rest of the week. That is a premium feature. They get more live streams. Other than that, we will be live again next week here on YouTube, as Wednesdays are our YouTube live stream. Once again, I really hope everybody has a great day. And if anybody's looking for any additional communication after this, I will be moving over to Discord. Thank you once again. I hope everybody has a great day.